Hi, this is Didi Caldwell with Global Location Strategies. I hope all of you are doing well and staying safe and healthy during this great pause. I want to talk to you about a few things that you can be doing at home as economic developers to continue to move your growth initiatives forward. So the first thing that you can do is you can work on your sites and buildings and get them more investment ready. What this means is that make sure that you have all of the information about your sites and buildings so that when someone like me sends a request for information, you have all of that information at the ready and you can provide it back to us in a timely manner. If there's any due diligence items that you need to continue working on for these sites, go ahead and lay out a plan to do those, determine how much it's going to cost. You can probably go ahead and solicit bids for those and select the contractors so that when the time is right, you can pull the trigger on that and come out of this crisis with sites and buildings that are much more ready for investment than we were when we went into this. Another thing that you can do is that you can make sure that your sites are in the GLS site database. You can go to our website to find out how to make that happen. The second thing that you can do is that you can analyze your workforce. Everybody knows that workforce is one of the biggest drivers of location decisions. We're in a different time right now where unemployment is likely going to be very high because of the layoffs that have happened because of COVID-19. But we don't expect that this is going to last very long. As soon as the stay-at-home orders are lifted, we expect that companies will start hiring again, and before long we're probably going to be in a pretty similar situation that we were in before the crisis with a very tight labor market. So what you want to do is you want to understand what the strengths and weaknesses are of your labor force. You want to understand how they compare to your likely competition, and from both a qualitative and a cost standpoint. And be thinking about, are there things that I can do in order to minimize the weaknesses, enhance the strengths, and mitigate any weaknesses that are associated with my workforce? The third thing that you can be doing is you can benchmark your community and your sites and buildings on a cost basis against your likely competition. When you get an RFI, then it's going to give you limited information, but you can take that information and on the back of the envelope, you can figure out what are the cost drivers. If it's very high employment, then labor may be a big driver. If they use a lot of electricity or natural gas, then energy is going to be the driver. Logistics, you may not know how much logistics is going to impact the decision, but you can assume that your location is under consideration because it's in an area of strategic importance. Do you know where you stand from a cost perspective when you're comparing against similar locations? If you don't, this is a good time to do that investigation so that you can better understand what your competitive strengths and weaknesses are. Things like water and wastewater and incentives and taxes many times are not going to move the needle, but you need to make sure that you are cost competitive. If your water rates are $10 per thousand and you're competing against a similar location whose rates are $3 per thousand, then you're going to be at a cost disadvantage. The fourth thing that you can be doing during this time is to continue to reach out to your networks. We're all feeling a bit isolated. We're all going a little bit stir crazy. So this is a great time to reach out to site selection consultants, to companies, especially those that are already in your community. This is a very difficult time for them. Is there anything that you can be helping them with? You also want to reach out to some of your local partners. So that includes your elected officials, utilities, your engineering and land development partners, your training associations and technical colleges, to not specifically to work on any one thing. It's just to keep the dialogue going, keep one another motivated and informed about what the issues are that you are facing. So I hope that these 4 tips on what you can be doing while you're working from home have been helpful. I'd love to hear your feedback. Please reach out to me at Didi Caldwell at globallocationstrategies.com, and I look forward to seeing you again face-to-face very soon.